Hey, 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 and welcome back to Bossy Behavior. This is a special 3 a.m. Get ready with me video. I know it's been a while since I've done one of these, but every Monday I be slaying these looks, okay? And I be getting up super early because why? It is the School of Prayer with Mark Coley, okay? So I actually typically just stay up because I'm a night owl, or I will take a little nap and wake up. But you may say, why, Liz? Why slay the looks? Why slay the looks? Because you have to get ready for your day, right? Plus, I just love the makeup. Anyways, let's get into how did I get started doing this 3 a.m. makeup routine? Well, I had been seeing the School of Prayer for probably a month, and I was like, East Coast time. That makes it 4 o'clock my time to get up and pray for my business. Like, I don't really know. I probably should try it. And then one week, I just looked at the flyer and I was like, you know what? I need to do this. Not only for my business, but probably for myself. I think that it will help me a lot. So I tagged a few of my girlfriends and some of my mentees, and I said, this is what we're doing, squad. We're doing the School of Prayer. Oh, I forgot to wet my beauty blender. Shoot. Yeah, I always forget to like do one thing or two things, maybe three things when I'm doing my makeup this early. So the beauty blender, it didn't get wet. I had to, adjust. Sometimes I'm like, oh, is this eyeshadow gonna come out okay? I don't know, baby child. I don't know. Anyways, back to the school prayer. Okay, so the first week I went, I felt super charged. I felt set for my day. I felt like, wow, God is actually speaking to me in a very clear way regarding my person and my business so that I can stay focused for the rest of the week. I had no intentions really of coming back, even though it was really great. I was just like, Sundays are busy for me, right? I got the whole digital church thing going on, and there was something in me screaming, girl, just relax. But I couldn't relax and I couldn't stay away. Immediately, if you haven't been following me on Instagram, I've been preaching princesses since September, right? I got this huge idea for a very fairy tale like over the top princessy photo shoot. Mind you, I had no money for it, right? I had nothing to accomplish the goal, didn't even have a photographer in mind. That Monday, I specifically put that on my list of prayer. I was like, I want to have this princess photo shoot and I just want it to be super over the top. How can it happen? That day, all I had was downloads. I thought of the photographer. I saw it in a vision. I was like, whoa, this can all happen. She's in Vegas. Let me reach out and see. She agreed. All I had to do was get to her. The hotel room, a special pyramid Luxor corner room, beautiful spa tub. It's my favorite. Covered. Guess what? Gas money to and fro? Covered, because sis lives in Southern California. So it takes like 4.5 hours to get there. Oh, but the most special part of it all was my very special, uniquely designed black label dress. Okay, I went to Saks Fifth Avenue, and when I checked out, this dress that was hundreds of dollars became $157. Even the lady ringing it up said, that's a sale. That's over, way, way, way past over half of what this dress cost. Listen, we were both shocked. I was in tears. How could this be? How could I travel, find this dress, and be able to take pictures on the Crystal Shopping Center's stairs while it was closed? The security guard wanted to run me down, but he let me take my photo shoot pictures. I was elated. Princess dreams do come true. Awesome. Then I launched hashtag Preach Princess, a mentorship community. I mean, I was on a roll and thriving. And if you think that that's it, no, no, no. Every Monday has been preceded by the next with great gifts and surprises. The next Monday after that, someone donated couple $100 for me to go shopping. Why? Because I'm constantly on camera. I didn't even ask for this one, guys. Someone just showed up and said, you make videos every day. You're on your church's capture days, right? You're always on camera. We need you to look like you're on camera. This older person had no idea how the tech world works, but God spoke to them regarding it. I guess it was something really, really buried down deep in my heart because I didn't really think about it. Sometimes I just buy generic black, beige, neutral colors, but in this shopping trip, I got to get specialty items that specifically fit my personality of my brand. The week after that, I started writing another book. Now, mind you, if you've been following me for any amount of times, sis is always writing a book. I probably got 10 sitting in Evernote right now. But this book in particular is one of the ones that I had felt stuck, stagnant, and just I couldn't move on it. And that week, everybody on the call was talking about books and getting them finished and writing and scribing. And as we prayed that in, I felt just this thing open up in me to get down to business and start typing it out again. And listen, when I dropped this book, y'all, child, you don't even know what to do with it because the fire that inspired me and motivated me to move forward, I can't even believe to this day. At this point, I was sold. Okay, listen. 3 a.m.'s no big deal. 4 a.m. for an hour. What? Like, no problem. When you really believe in something, you support it no matter what the time or the circumstances. You make a way to find a way to be able to serve community and receive from community. And that's what I get from the School of Prayer. I get this place where other entrepreneurs who understand the prophetic, who understand maybe even the hardship of being a prophetic entrepreneur, can gather together and encourage one another, but also pray with intentionality. So somewhere around this point, Mark decides, hey, you should probably come on and share. Get down? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And that made me double down on the belief in what this vision was birthing forth in the entrepreneurs that gathered. Prayer is not something that most entrepreneurs do, right? Prayer is not something that most people gather to anyways, even in local churches. I mean, I grew up in church, so I know. Prayer is usually the smallest gathering that there is. But, seeing 50, 60, 70 entrepreneurs gathering to pray over their business, that's already phenomenal. But the next week, we saw over 100. Yeah, that's right. 100, 101, 102, 103. What? Gather for prayer. And so many more had signed up, but they just were too late for the call that morning. I was blown away. It was a simple prayer I had prayed the night before. Jesus, if it's in your will, let us see 100 entrepreneurs praying. I think it's your will. Thanks. And I went to bed. And when I woke up, there was 100 entrepreneurs. Now that made me shed a few tears because I realized then that this is what entrepreneurs really need. And the clarion call of God's voice spreading to them was so important for the future, not only for them individually, but the cities they reside in, the regions that they rule in, and the impact of the lives that would be touched by all of those who decided to receive from God and set their disciplines accordingly. Every week, it seemed I would sacrifice to get up, to get myself ready, to seek the Lord before even the prayer call. And honestly, I kept seeing breakthroughs. At this point in the journey, though, the biggest wave of despair that I have felt all year hit me, right? I felt like everything was crumbling around me. I felt betrayed, hurt, frustrated, confused. Like, how did I get here? What is happening? Quite unexplainable, even. You see my previous video. I shaved my head, right? I lost all my hair. I really didn't want to get up that week. I was actually spending the time crying in my bed. Crying, complaining, telling God, this wasn't fair. Why is this happening to me? And I still chose to get up for the School of Prayer because I felt like maybe I would get something. Maybe something would show up for me because it had every week before. It didn't fail. It actually came through. I was encouraged to the point of creating the video you previously saw. I had to do it. I had to edit it. I had to share my story. Even though I turned into an imperfect princess in my mind, I had to tell people that although it wasn't my story to be inspirational, it was my story to tell. Yeah, that only came from the place of gathering with others who were believing big for what they were called to do, courageously going forward, courageously being persistent and pursuing. And then he called a fast. Mark Coley called a fast, guys. If you've been following me for these 14 years, I never take time from social media. Listen, it's not normal for me. I am not drained by it. I don't often get sucked into it. I spend copious amounts of time on it because guess what? It's my platforms. It's where I'm supposed to be. So, called it fast. He was like, 3 days. Give us 3 days. It wasn't just social media. It was food too. It was like, juice and water and just this intense amount of time separated away from the place that we all may build more often than we build our relationship with God. This fast, though, was so intense. It was particularly challenging because at the time I was thinking, wow, should I? Could I? I'm going to miss money. This is how I make money, right? This is how people get to see me, to interact with me, to hire me for things, or just to pay me for what I do creatively as a vlogger, blogger, all of those things, right? So I gave the 3 days because I was like, when has sacrifice not yielded ever a reward, right? Maybe I'll get clarity. Maybe this will help. And let me tell you, the tornado, the wind for the wind hit my life in a way that I was unexpecting. Okay, listen. I got ideas, clarification. I received breakthrough within my soul. God was able to deal with me about my expectations, the hardships that I had just incurred, and asked me to forgive. So I did. I forgave every unpaid invoice. I let go of every word that was spoken against me. I let go of the moments of despair that caused me to stress and lose my hair. It was so impactful. And the first day I came back, guess what? Someone came and said, hey, I need you weekly. I need to pay you to be able to do these things for me. I need a Lizzy. What? You need a Lizzy? Huh? Somebody saying they need a Lizzy sparked something in me because it reminded me of my identity, not my gifts. When they spoke to them needing a Lizzy, it reminded me of the great value and the things God placed on the inside of me, which sometimes as an entrepreneur, we have difficult finding, right? Because we're going from client to client or project to project, and we're just trying to make this vision happen and work. But I decided that day that I wasn't going to make the vision work anymore. I was going to allow God to make the vision work. I had to take my hand off of it so that it could succeed. I had to relinquish my control. I had to yield so that it could be pushed forward to the glory of God. And that's not it, okay? Listen, I know you're probably like, is anything else happened? Like, how could there be more? There's more. So I started to connect with some of the people on the actual call. Like, they started following me on social media. I started following them back. And here's the thing. They all have really crazy, dope, amazing projects or businesses that I can look at, share with. Like, they started commenting and supporting me. What? Where do they do that at? Listen, as long as I've been an entrepreneur, there's this whole spirit of competition thing underneath with a lot of people. And that's not what I get from this group of people. I get a lot of love, a lot of yes, girl, and go ahead. And then I even got an offer to be on a podcast. A podcast? What? Like, I didn't expect to receive from community because a lot of times people just hop on a call and get off. But in all actuality, it's literally people who care about other entrepreneurs. It's literally entrepreneurs that are willing and waiting to receive you and welcome you just so that you can both pour into each other. I've been searching a long time for that. I've been waiting a long time for that, right? Am I saying that everyone's friends? No. But what I am saying is that the ones within it, they'll draw close to you. And that's what I needed the most during this time. Yeah, so, okay, after this, you heard of this little app called Clubhouse? I didn't know. what it really was. I had heard about it, people told me, but I wasn't really interested. So then one day we went on afterwards, right? I got my ticket in, my invite, right? If you know, you know. Invites on Clubhouse are not easy to come by. Apparently, people are paying upwards of $200 for them at this point. Yo, sis, I got an invite for you if you want to come through. Anyways, it was super fun and extra important to the journey because it opened up a door and a window for me to have conversations with people I normally wouldn't connect with. I mean, hundreds, if not thousands, in different rooms at some points where I literally have been able to have so many learning opportunities, but also be able to create a space to talk and bring value to. That is clutch and key for any entrepreneur, okay? Because we want to be able to bring value so that people can be driven back to what? The ways that we monetize ourselves, okay? So I've been able to meet some really big names, and I've been able to connect with everyday people like me, right? Just everyone coming together and having valuable conversation. I actually think I didn't think I was going to like it at first because I like to see people, right? I'm a visual person, but the audio aspect is really good. I've been driving in my car, picking up my food, doing whatever I need to do. And guess what? I'm still talking on Clubhouse. So I love it. And if you want to connect with me on Clubhouse, it is at bossy.behavior, the same as Instagram. All in all, no one could ever convince me that waking up at 3 a.m. is a waste of my time. I mean, technically, I could wait until like 3:50 and not do my makeup, but if you know me, that's just not my deal, right? Girly girl to the max. Love to see it, slay the day. That's my like whole entire vibe, right? But the point is that no matter what sacrificing a little bit of sleep looks like for me at 3 a.m. to get up for 4 and be ready to be inspired, motivated, and driven towards the direction God has for me as an entrepreneur. It's worth it. The sacrifice of a little sleep is so much better than wondering, not having community, feeling lost, or doing it by myself. I used to have those days as an entrepreneur, and if you're listening, you may feel that too. You may feel the risk of joining community and feel like this is too extreme. This is too much. I don't know. I don't think I can trust people again. I'm not asking you to trust people. I'm asking you to trust God. I'm asking you to partner with heaven and a bunch of other entrepreneurs to believe bigger for your life, to make a difference in your sphere of influence, to actually be intentional in driving the plans of God through this earthly place that He set us onto. Every one of us has a need, and maybe your needs look very different than mine. Maybe you don't need a shopping spree for what you do. Maybe you need an investment. Maybe you need a ROI for what you've poured into for so many years. That could be the case. But guess what? When you ask God and you ask Him big, when you decide and you make solid decisions to be unmoved and to not go back and forth and be tossed to and fro, He shows up every time. Some of these things I've shared may not have been important to you, but what is? What is on your list that you have yet to ask God for? That's what we do there. That's why we gather, to actually inquire of the Lord, right? And sometimes not even for what He can do for us, but just to say, hey, God, I'm really grateful that you chose me to be an entrepreneur. I'm actually fulfilled in the call that you've placed on my life, and I won't complain, but I'll thank you for the place that you have called me to be in. This is something that opens up a world of possibility for you. There is nothing that I can look at right now that I don't think that God will say no to. He's going to say yes. Everything is yes. It's a world of yes. You know how they'll be like, I was looking at a world of no, but I'm looking at a world of yes. Just because every time I try to speak and open up and bring my heart offering to the Lord, He will respond with yes and amen. The goodness of the Lord is chasing after us. Will you stop to receive it? That's kind of what I wanted to say to all of you who may be struggling in the midst of a pandemic to believe God again. I believed Him. The school of prayer helped me to do that. But now I have to believe bigger. I hope that you join us next week. I'll put the information down below. Oh, and here's the finished look and a few clips from the school of prayer this week. It's been fun.